Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. I'm back again with another video. And let's continue our talk on G.I. Joe slash Cobra Air Ops. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community. I'm back again with another video. And this time we're going to be discussing the parachute troopers that was released in the Retaliation line around about 2008. We'll discuss this. So here you have the Cobra troopers. These Cobra troopers were released and packaged with parachutes, and I think they were really cool due to the simple fact that the Retaliation line seemed to have been very gimmicky when it comes to like all the giant missile launchers and cannons and the weird rope things and string things that it all came with. But I think a figure that came harnessed with a parachute was pretty cool. Brings me back to those days of when G.I. Joe released the Sky Patrol figures back in '89 or '90, and you actually had that figure you could take outside and throw up in the air, and and actually watch it glide back down. That was pretty cool. So my only gripe with I have a few gripes with the Retaliation line, especially when it comes to figures like these. I mean, these figures are cool, and I think they ultimately, if this is going to be the Trooper, then they actually were way better than what the Rise of Cobra gave us. Those weird wormy face looking figures that they used as Cobra Troopers. Um, I didn't gel well with those. I didn't really like them. But I think this is a better, if Retaliation was going to make a trooper unlike what we knew the troopers to be back in the 80s, if they were going to make a different style of trooper, then this is cool. I like it. Um, so far, the figure came with this paper, and it's pretty much got your G.I. Joe logo. Tells you it's the Cobra Trooper from the Retaliation line. Warning, do not choke on this thing. Okay, of course. It's a little bit of a direction on how to use the parachute. And we're all kind of seasoned in this world of G.I. Joe. So we've thrown a parachute up or played with a figure with a parachute as kids back in the days. So I'm not really going to go outside and do any of that. But this is pretty much what the parachute looks like. Right here, it's got strings, and it actually marries right in to the harness, which is really cool. You see these two little blue tabs right here. You take these two tabs, and I have a spare harness right here. You take it and you snap it in there, just like so. 1, 2, 3, and that is easy. So it'll allow the figure to glide down, and you throw it up there, see what happens. It actually glides pretty well. You didn't catch that, but so it actually glides pretty well. This is what the parachute looks like from the top. Giant Cobra logo on it. Pretty cool, nicely done. I mean, especially with the Retaliation line. I think that was a cool thing that was done. They should have done more of this, and just like last day I did a talk on the Air Devils. I actually think this figure is cooler than the Air Devil. I like the Air Devil's color, but this one's actually pretty cool. This is what he looks like without any gear on. So it's just it's a cool base figure, especially the way action figures are nowadays. You can buy possibly a handful of these and strip them out of that if you want, and gear them up with other equipment from other action figure lines and see what you have. Maybe we'll do some of that later and figure it all out. I mean, for the most part, possibilities are endless. You can use gear. This is actually Marauder's gear from their website. You have a vision, you can buy a couple of these figures and, really deck them out with other equipment from other lines. So here's my gripe so far with the Retaliation line. First off, I think their figures, some of them are cool, some of them are a little, I say, some of them aren't cool. So this actually, I was very happy with these. And one of the things I thought of with these is very reminiscent. These guys here are very reminiscent of the foot soldier from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is one of the reasons why I actually like these figures. It appears that sometimes G.I. Joe doesn't want to stand behind what they've made. And case in point being that there's no, in the Retaliation line, there's no file cards that helps propel the imagination or the play factor of these figures. It's like, here, either you want it or you don't. Who cares who this guy is? There's no backstory. Here, take it and be done with it. Meanwhile, other lines have expounded upon the file card and actually made file cards better. Actually took the time to describe where a character came from or what their duties are or what kind of trouble they cause or, anything. Also, with these figures, I want to show you what they look like. This is what they look like geared up. Now, this is his gun. I don't know if this is a real world gun or anything, but I think it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. It does its job. This is the parachute harness, which looks like this. I think I showed you earlier. This is the parachute harness. If you notice, this figure comes with two harnesses. One is a regular harness with a what do you call that? A gun belt? I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, holster. I drew a blank on that one for some reason. So it has a holster and it has this nicely done reserve parachute pouch right here with the Cobra logo on it. This is what it looks like on the rear. Of course, it clips into the parachute, which actually glides really nice, by the way. Excellent. Again, the gun there, he has a small sidearm here. And you can actually, I actually keep them like this, where they're wearing both web gear, because if they parachute in, they drop out of that and DC themselves from the parachute harness, and their battle harness is already in place and ready to go. So, I mean, this is a pretty cool figure that I feel could have been developed more, could have been pushed more. Since we're on the subject of pros and cons, here's another thing that I'm not fairly fond of. You notice they all have figure stands under them, and this is why. They have stiff ankles. They have no movement at the ankle. So if there is very difficult to stand them up, because you know how G.I. Joes come. They always have their feet kind of tipped up, so they fall back so you need that little bit of motion at the ankle to really adjust and get them to stand up, because this guy's almost impossible to stand up. Yeah, that's one of the things that actually bothers me about this line. And since there's no file cards for these guys, I will put somewhere in this video what was on the back of the packaging. It was very, very dry, very short. Just you'll see it for yourself. Like I said, I think these figures could have been developed a whole lot more. I mean, if you are interested in these, get them in your collection. I mean, there's the possibilities are endless with them. I mean, the Retaliation line is probably one of my favorite lines, but they did have some major screw ups in that line that need to be addressed. Whereas being these figures have no ankle movement, which is rendering them impossible to stand up without a figure stand. They're also the problem with the file cards. Some of the figures were molded very weird, like the Roadblock figure, the Rock figure, has this weird molded hand uh, onto a gun, and in order to, you have to really search to find a replacement hand for that to write what they did there. So, with that being said, I've seen uh, a bunch of reviews about these figures, and there's very mixed reviews on them. Some people like them, some people hate them. I personally really like these figures. I really like them. I could see myself building a army of these, but ultimately my armies never really get more than 4 or 5. So this is probably as big as my collection of these are going to get. I saw one online the other day that is itching me to get it, but I don't know. But ultimately, this is a fairly nice figure. You can't really say, you know, this figure is not cool because of what the next person said online about it. Get it for yourself. Get one. They're fairly cheap in the aftermarket. I mean, the price ranges GI Joes are falling for these days, but fairly cheap considering. So if you want one, pick it up. And like, I got all these out of the box, but well, I got one out of the box. 2 came together in like a little baggie, and this one I got open box with almost no equipment. This is all he had with him was his parachute holster, or I'm sorry, his parachute uh, web gear. And I was good with that because I feel like I want to make him my leader of the group, and I'm going to find some different gear to put on him to make him a little bit different. And these guys are cool. I mean, let's get a good look at them so you can see what you're getting. This is a full 360. All right. And I mean, they're fairly basic figures, and a lot of times the bare figure is what you're after. You're not after all that crazy stuff that they tend to do to figures. He has a very similar head to the Adder, or Daredevil rather. I like this head sculpt. It's pretty cool. And this particular head sculpt, you can see an army of 100 having this all the same head sculpt. They don't have to have any personality or anything. So that's pretty cool. So with that being said, I'm going to grade these guys. Let me think. I'm going to grade because I do like them. I'm going to grade these guys, let's say a C plus. I'm going to give them a grade above the Daredevil with a C plus because even though I really like these figures, and if I were you, I would get them, but they get the grade of a C plus because they fall under the Retaliation line where they're not developed. It seems like nobody cared about them. They seem like redheaded stepchildren. There's no, there's nothing that develops these figures. These figures are just there out in the world, and either you get them or you don't. So I'm going to give them a C plus, and the C and the plus, that's still a passing grade, and the plus is definitely because I really like these figures. These are really cool to me, but that's to me. I want to give an honest opinion of what I think they are, as opposed to how I feel about them. In my book, they're definitely a B, but this is not about me. This is about the 1/18 scale world. This is about you going out and spending your money, and this is about you seeing what is presented here and what you could possibly get. Before I go, I want to show you the sidearm that he came with. That's it right there. Very basic. Kind of the one I always confuse with a taser. Looks like a taser to me, but it's not. It's a gun. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. Any questions, comments, feel free to link them down in the comments. I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. And it's Friday. Go have fun. Forget about this crazy week, because I know we've all had crazy weeks. So forget about this crazy week. Let's go hunt for action figures. Let's go hunt for cool vehicles for them to ride in. Let's discuss this stuff further, and let's enjoy ourselves, man. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. This is a very healthy hobby, and I like it. I enjoy it, and I also enjoy sharing it with you. So, with that being said, man, I'm out. All right. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all your love and support. Later.